Do you ever get the feeling that something just isn't right in your relationship, but you can't quite put your finger on it? Like the person you're with knows exactly how to push your buttons, twist your thoughts, and make you doubt your own reality. You're not alone. Dark psychological tactics in relationships are far more common than most people realize, and they don't always come in obvious, explosive fights or dramatic betrayals. Sometimes they creep in like a slow poison, disguised as love, concern, or even support. And by the time you notice, you're already entangled in a web that feels impossible to escape. So, how do you recognize these tactics before they consume you? Before your self-worth is shattered and your mind is no longer your own? That's exactly what we're about to uncover. And trust me, you'll want to stay until the end, because what you're about to hear might just save you from years of manipulation, heartache, and psychological damage. Let's start with one of the most sinister tactics of all, gaslighting. Imagine this. You remember something clearly. Maybe it was a conversation, an argument, or even just an event that took place. But when you bring it up, your partner insists it never happened. They tell you you're imagining things, that you're being dramatic, or worse, that you're losing your mind. Over time, you start questioning yourself. Did I really misunderstand? Am I overreacting? Gaslighting is psychological warfare. The goal? To make you doubt your own reality so that you become dependent on their version of the truth. And once they control your perception, they control you. Next, we have love bombing. This one is tricky because it feels amazing at first. At the beginning of the relationship, they shower you with affection, attention, and grand gestures. They call you their soulmate, make you feel like the most special person in the world. It's intoxicating. But here's the catch. This isn't love. It's a trap. Once they've got you hooked, the love bombing suddenly stops. The compliments turn into criticism. The attention disappears. You start chasing that initial high, wondering what you did wrong, why they've changed. And just when you're about to give up, they give you a little taste of that initial love again, just enough to keep you addicted. This cycle repeats over and over until they have complete emotional control over you. Then there's triangulation. This is when they introduce a third person into the dynamic, an ex, a friend, even a stranger, to make you feel insecure. Maybe they constantly talk about how amazing their ex was, how someone else finds them attractive, or how someone at work gives them more respect than you do. This is designed to make you feel like you're never enough, like you need to compete for their affection. And in doing so, they keep you in a constant state of anxiety, trying to prove your worth, while they sit back and enjoy the control they have over your emotions. Another devastating tactic, blame shifting. No matter what happens, it's your fault. They cheat, it's because you weren't giving them enough attention. They lie, it's because you wouldn't have understood the truth. They hurt you, it's because you provoked them. Blame shifting makes sure you are always the villain in their story while they play the innocent victim. Over time, you stop standing up for yourself. You start believing that maybe, just maybe, you are the problem. And let's not forget silent treatment. This isn't just ignoring someone. This is a calculated move to punish you, to make you anxious, to make you desperate for their approval. When they suddenly withdraw all communication, your mind goes into overdrive. Are they mad? Did I do something wrong? Will they ever talk to me again? The moment you start chasing them, apologizing even when you've done nothing wrong, they win. They've trained you like a puppet, making you dance to the tune of their silence. Then there's projection. They accuse you of the exact things they're doing. If they're cheating, they accuse you of being unfaithful. If they're lying, they insist you are dishonest. If they're manipulating, they say you are the manipulator. Projection is a smokescreen. It keeps you so busy defending yourself that you don't have time to question them. And perhaps one of the most damaging tactics of all, intermittent reinforcement. It's the psychological trick that casinos, social media, and toxic partners all use to keep you hooked. They give you just enough reward, just enough love, just enough kindness, to keep you coming back for more. And because you never know when you'll get that reward, you keep trying, keep chasing, keep hoping. It's the ultimate mind game. But here's the thing. The moment you recognize these tactics, they start losing their power. Because the truth is, dark psychology only works when you don't see it coming. When you're aware of it, you can break free. So ask yourself, have you noticed any of these tactics in your own relationships? Have you ever felt like you were slowly losing yourself without knowing why? If so, it's time to reclaim your mind. It's time to set boundaries, to stop explaining yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you, to walk away from anyone who thrives on your confusion. Because real love doesn't leave you feeling anxious. It doesn't make you doubt your own worth. It doesn't play mind games to keep you trapped. The moment you recognize dark psychological tactics, you take back your power. And when you take back your power, no manipulator can ever control you again. But recognizing these tactics is only the beginning, because once you see them, you're faced with the hardest question of all. What do you do next? See, manipulators don't just let their victims walk away. That's not how they work. Once they sense they're losing control, they escalate, they adapt, they pull you deeper into their psychological trap with even more advanced tactics designed to make you stay, even when you know you should leave. One of the most dangerous of these tactics is future faking. This is when they promise you a future that will never happen. They tell you they'll change, that things will get better, that they just need time. They might even talk about marriage, kids, or some dream life together. Whatever they know will keep you hopeful. But here's the truth. Those promises are nothing more than illusions. They're used to keep you hooked, to stop you from leaving. And the moment you show signs of pulling away, suddenly they'll say exactly what you need to hear to make you stay just a little longer. And then a little longer after that. Next comes hoovering. This is when, after you finally try to leave, they suck you right back in. They might beg, cry, tell you they can't live without you. They'll suddenly become the person you fell in love with again, reminding you of all the good times. Or worse, they'll guilt trip you. After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me? They'll paint you as the heartless one. And if that doesn't work, they'll use rage, threats, or even smear campaigns to destroy your reputation. Because in their mind, if they can't have you, they will control how others see you. And let's talk about emotional blackmail. This is when they make you feel responsible for their well-being. If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do, or even worse, if you leave, I might not be here anymore. This is one of the most terrifying tactics because it preys on your empathy. It makes you feel like their survival depends on you. But the harsh reality? It's another manipulation. Because if someone truly loves you, they would never put that kind of emotional weight on your shoulders. Then there's devaluation. This happens once they think they have you completely under their control. Suddenly, everything you do is wrong. They criticize your looks, your intelligence, your choices. Nothing is ever good enough. They slowly strip away your confidence, your identity, your sense of self. Why? Because a broken person is easier to control. But here's what they don't want you to know. The moment you stop seeking their validation is the moment they lose their grip on you. See, manipulators thrive on power, on control, on keeping you in a constant state of self-doubt. But once you recognize the game they're playing, you start seeing them for what they really are: weak, insecure people who need to manipulate to feel powerful. Because real power, real confidence, it doesn't come from breaking others down. It comes from lifting yourself up. So what do you do when you recognize these tactics in your own life? First, trust your instincts. If something feels off, it is off. Gaslighters and manipulators will try to make you question reality, but deep down, you know the truth. Listen to that voice. Second, stop explaining yourself. Manipulators don't misunderstand you because they're confused. They misunderstand you on purpose. The more you try to reason with them, the more they twist your words. So don't waste your breath. Third, set boundaries and enforce them. The moment you say, "I won't tolerate this," they will test you. They'll push, they'll poke, they'll try every trick in the book to see if you'll cave. Don't. And most importantly, cut them off. No messages, no explanations, no second chances, because the more access they have to you, the more chances they have to manipulate you again. And if you think going no contact is cruel, ask yourself this: would they hesitate to hurt you if it benefited them? You already know the answer. So let me leave you with this. The only way to win against a manipulator is to stop playing their game. The moment you recognize their tactics, the moment you step out of their psychological web, they lose. Because in the end, the most dangerous thing you can ever do to a manipulator is this: heal. Because once you heal, once you reclaim your power, once you learn to trust yourself again, they can never touch you again. But here's the part that no one tells you. Manipulators don't always come in the form of obvious villains. They don't always scream, threaten, or lash out. Sometimes the most dangerous ones are the ones who smile while they destroy you. They wear a mask. They play the role of the caring partner, the supportive friend, the loving family member, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Because when someone seems kind, when they say they love you, when they act like they have your best interests at heart, how do you even begin to question them? That's why the most effective manipulation happens in the subtleties. Like the way they make jokes at your expense but insist they're just teasing. The way they dismiss your emotions as too sensitive or too dramatic. The way they make you earn their love and approval, so you're constantly working to prove your worth without even realizing it. This is covert control. It's silent, it's insidious, and it's designed to keep you second-guessing yourself. One of the most chilling tactics they use? The "you're not like other people" trap. At first, they make you feel special, unique, like you're different from everyone else they've ever been with. You understand me in a way no one else does. I've never met someone as amazing as you. It feels incredible, like you've finally found someone who sees you for who you really are. But there's a hidden purpose behind this. What they're really doing is isolating you, setting you apart, because once you believe you're the only one who truly gets them, it becomes much harder to walk away. It makes you invested in proving that you're not like all the others who failed them. And then the shift happens. Suddenly, the things that made you special start becoming flaws. The qualities they once praised, now they criticize them. They tell you you're too much. They suggest that maybe you're the problem. This is how they trap you, by making you feel responsible for keeping the relationship together. And the moment you start chasing their approval, they know they have you exactly where they want you. Another chilling manipulation technique: controlled chaos. Have you ever noticed how, just when things start to feel calm, something always happens? An argument, a crisis, some drama that pulls you back into emotional turmoil. That's not an accident, it's deliberate. Chaos is a powerful tool of control. When your mind is constantly in a state of stress, when you're always trying to fix the relationship, when you never know what version of them you're going to get, your brain becomes exhausted, and an exhausted mind is easier to control. That's why manipulators love to keep you in a constant state of instability. One day they're loving and kind, the next they're cold and distant. Then, when you're about to give up, they pull you back in with just enough affection to make you stay. It's a game of emotional whiplash, and the longer you're in it, the harder it is to break free. But one of the most sinister tactics of all, making you doubt your own strength. Think about it. Why do manipulators work so hard to break you down, to make you feel small, weak, incapable? Because the moment you realize your own strength, they lose all their power over you. They don't want you to see how strong you really are. They don't want you to remember that you were perfectly fine before they entered your life, and that you will be even stronger once they're gone. That's why they attack your confidence. That's why they make you doubt yourself. That's why they create a world where they are the center. Because the second you realize that you don't need them, the entire illusion shatters. So now you have a choice. You can continue playing their game. You can keep trying to prove your worth. Keep hoping they'll change. Keep waiting for things to get better. Or you can wake up. You can see them for who they really are. You can recognize their tactics. You can step out of their web and finally take back control of your life. Because here's the truth they don't want you to know. You were never weak. They just needed you to believe you were. Because a person who knows their worth, a person who refuses to be manipulated, that's the one thing a dark psychologist fears the most. So the real question is, are you ready to break free?